This has been the sorriest election I have ever seen.
As far as I'm concerned, Hillary Clinton is a liar.
I trust her. As they said last night, I'm with her.
Trump is a liar and Hillary's a liar, and they're both just throwing dirt back and forth trying to get in.
I don't think that she has done anything that would harm this country.
I think tells it like it is.
I think his mouth is, is the one that gets him in trouble a lot.
I think everything that we should be uplifted people for, he pushes them down.
Whether he's going to be good or not, I don't know, but I'm tired of the same people being elected.
I probably won't vote in the end.
Hi, I'm Ben Felder with the Oklahoman, and today we're going to go on a bit of a road trip. We're going to go visit the two precincts that had the highest percentage of voter support for Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton during the Oklahoma presidential primary earlier this year. Now, you may recall that neither candidate actually won Oklahoma in the primary. That went to Ted Cruz for the Republicans and Bernie Sanders for the Democrats. But Trump and Clinton have become their party's nominees for president. And as we enter the final 3 months of the presidential campaign, we're going to go take a look at these two communities, try to discover what type of voter support Trump and Clinton have here in Oklahoma, and quite possibly what that says about their support across the country. So here we go. SPAVINAW, Oklahoma, the near east side of the state, and then it was right here in this precinct that earlier this year Trump received the most votes by percentage than any other precinct in Oklahoma during the presidential primary. So 60% of voters supported Donald Trump. Our first stop here is the T General Store, a gas station and a little restaurant, and we talked to the store owner, and she said that she felt like Trump's message really resonated with a lot of people here, a lot of retired veterans in this community, a really poor town, a town that has kind of seen some better days in the past. In fact, the elementary school, which was kind of the identity for this town, closed down last year for good. She said a lot of families were having to send their kids as far as 15 miles away to neighboring communities to go to school, and it was really a shock to the town. She said that a candidate like Donald Trump, she felt like gave this community a voice, which hasn't felt like it's had a voice in quite some time.
Not at all. It didn't surprise me one bit. I mean, they're so ready for a change. I'm not so sure if they just trust Hillary like they should. I think that's our number one concern with any of us as voters. It's the trust issue with her. I think his mouth is, is the one that gets him in trouble a lot. But I think he does going to have some change going on, and I think change hurts, and I think that's what's getting a lot of people. People don't, when they get uncomfortable when they do change.
Yeah. What do you think about it? What do you think it is about Donald Trump that really resonates with people in this community?
As you know, it's a poor community, and they just seem like they can't get out of the hole here. It just seems like they need something. They need something, some kind of hope, some promise. You're either retired or you're on some kind of disability here, or you have kids that can't get a job because they live so far out and they can't go to school. Our schools were shut down. That was a big thing here. This town now will probably dwindle down to nothing because they shut the school down this past year. It was the last year for it, so.
All right, well, when you come to SPAVINAW, Oklahoma, one of the things you notice right away is that this is a town that's probably seen better days. Like a lot of small rural towns across the state, you see a lot of boarded up storefronts along what used to be the main drag. We're talking to the mayor of SPAVINAW, who said that was the case, that this was a town that had a lot of activity. It's on the way to some recreation, and when the SPAVINAW Dam was built, which is where we're standing, that provided water for the city of Tulsa, it brought a lot of activity here. When we talked to him about this being such a popular precinct for Donald Trump, you know, he admitted that he didn't think the election of Donald Trump was going to change much for the town of SPAVINAW. But you seem to get the idea that in a town that feels like maybe it's been forgotten a little bit, someone like Donald Trump, who voices a little bit of anger, and speaks his mind, really resonates with a lot of people in this community who maybe do feel like their better days are behind them.
Well, what kind of town is it? Tell me a little bit about
That's a good little town.
This precinct had the highest percentage of Trump voters. Does that surprise you to hear that?
No.
Why is that?
Well, we're kind of old-fashioned people, and we don't, we've got a lot of NRA people and everything, and I guess, I think from the deal we've got more Republicans, I guess, in town.
Yeah. What do you think it is about Donald Trump that kind of resonated with this community?
He kind of tells it like it is, and politics to me has been the good old boy system up there in Washington for many, many years, and just like the Republican Party, wanted to kind of kick Trump out, but people's vote told them, different, and that's nationwide.
But, there were quite a few names on the ballot. Why did you choose Trump?
Just for his honesty, and like I say, he told it like it was. He didn't try to sugarcoat anything, or like the rest of them was. They're going to stay with the grand old party that was really trying to take away from I think the message of what we need.
In a community like this, does it sometimes feel like not to speak ill in the town now, but does it kind of sometimes feel like the best days, were in the past?
Yeah, for this town, because back in the 50s and 60s, this was a booming place. And even back in the 30s and 40s, because this particular town had, with the city of Tulsa building the lake here and getting their water system from it, back in that time, before Prohibition, this was a booming place because everybody come up here to do their partying and drinking.
You're a Democrat, but you're going to be voting for Trump. Why is that?
Well, I don't believe anything that Hillary says. As far as I'm concerned, Hillary Clinton is a liar. And I've worked throughout the United States as travel, and I don't really find anybody, anything that I've ever seen about her that was really any good, just to tell you the truth. I mean, maybe she tries hard, I don't know, but I believe that Clinton is just a little bit dishonest, if you want to know the truth about it. What appeals to me about Trump is he's different. Whether he's going to be any good or not, I don't know, but I'm tired of the same people being elected. How many Bushes have been elected now? Now we've got two Clintons. Why don't we just make a dynasty out of the whole thing and forget all the people in between? And that's kind of the way I feel about it. If you're going to you want change, but you keep voting for the establishment, and the establishment is the same one that was there before, and not only they're married and they're kin to each other, how can you get a difference in the country if that's going to be the same thing? They all believe the same way.
Because Hillary is a liar, and that Benghazi incident, I just think she got off way too easy on it.
Yeah. But even before the presidential, during the primary, there were a lot of other Republican names on the ballot. Why was Trump the one you went with?
By the time it got here, it was down to Trump and Hillary. By the time we voted down here, it was basically down to Trump, Hillary, and Bernie Sanders. Yeah, that's basically the three we had. And I'm a Democrat, but I didn't like nothing. They were fighting between each other too much, and they wasn't sticking to the what I figured was more important subject. So, and I guess that was before Trump really got into throwing dirt back and forth at those two. This has been the sorriest election I have ever seen. I've been voting for 38 years, and this is the worst. I probably won't vote in the end.
You don't think you'll vote in November?
It's dirt. It's all dirt. I don't think it's worth my time.
What do you think it is about Trump that resonates with this community?
Actually, I don't think it's Trump. I think it's Hillary, because of basically what her husband went through. Trump is a liar and Hillary's a liar, and they're both just throwing dirt back and forth trying to get in. But that's not the way to get in. You get in by standing behind the people. And if you don't take care of the smaller communities, this country won't grow. And they're all big ticket, big money. I mean, we just lost our school last year. I mean, because the governments won't come in and help.
That hurt the town pretty hard, losing school?
Yeah. Go look at Strang. You can't even find it on the map, I bet you. I grew up in Strang till 76, 77. And I went to my last year of school there. My dad was a bus driver, in fact. When that school lost and everybody went to Adair, that town died. We lost our school. That was the only thing we had keeping this town going, except for the store. This town's going to die just because we lost this school. And it breaks my heart to see that the country is falling behind and not taking care of the smaller communities and helping the country grow. If it ain't about Tulsa or Oklahoma City here in Oklahoma, forget it. It don't matter.
We're here in OKMULGEE, Oklahoma. Now this is the site of the precinct that had the highest percentage of Hillary Clinton voters during the presidential primary earlier this year in Oklahoma. So 84% of voters here in this precinct that's in the northeast part of town voted for Clinton. Northeast OKMULGEE is a largely African-American neighborhood, kind of a middle-class, blue-collar neighborhood. So we're going to go talk to some people, ask them about their support for Clinton, and try to get to know a little bit more about this precinct.
That's why the vote was as it was, is because people just believe in what the Clintons have, we believe. Now, listening to some of the newscasts, they're telling us, they're saying things, you know, there's not a lot of negative things going forth about her, about a trust factor. No, she can't be trusted. I trust her. As they said last night, I'm with her. I trust her. I don't think that she has done anything that would harm this country. I think everything that she has done in her public life, immediately even after she got out of college, has been for the benefit of others.
It was different during our time. We had a middle class and we had a status as far as that's concerned. That's not there anymore. I mean, you're either poor or you're up there, you know. And we, as far as we're concerned right now, we're poor. We're poor as far although we have retirements, 401ks and all that, but we're poor people.
What type of community is Northeast OKMULGEE?
What kind of community is it?
Okay, my opinion would be Precinct 2 has probably a church on every corner. A different denominational church. There are Baptist churches, there are non-denominational churches, Methodist churches.
Everybody knows everybody, and we just care for each other. As my friend Maya Angelou would say, those of us who know better, we must do better. So it isn't that as a person, as a man, you know, Donald Trump, I don't really know him, but like I know my Hillary, but he is saying things that are untrue. They are mean-spirited. They are evil. They're creating fear among people who are already fearful because of their economic situation. They're already living in fear. And he's using that to build himself up. And I think that's the worst thing that any person could do. But they're following him. I don't think he's going to win, but he does have a following, and these are people, and it gets back to one of the core issues of our country, and that's race, because the United States is a racist country, And until we can acknowledge that and address it, we won't ever solve it.
What does it smell? What does it smell? What does it smell?
What's at stake when it comes to race this November?
If the wrong person is elected based upon the dialogue that's going forth now, and I would consider the wrong person being the person who is dividing us and preaching hatred and being talking people down, versus the person who is expressing hope for the future, unity. I don't think it's going to be good for minorities if the wrong person is elected president.